package is nothing but a kind of folder that comprise all the related classes. Okay, and these packages can be two types. One is built-in package, second is user-defined package. So built-in packages are all those packages which are already available with the Java, and how to get those packages, we have to use this import keyword. So whenever we use this import keyword, import java.util.scanner package. So in this way, the package will be, the util package will be imported. And here what are we doing? We are just importing only scanner class. Okay, we are not importing the whole util package. Then if you want to rather than importing just a class, if you want to import the complete package, then instead of scanner you have to use the asterisk key, asterisk symbol. So whenever you just import by using the asterisk, then the whole utility package or util package will be imported, guys. Yep. So any doubts here? Built-in packages?
Ravi,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you if you see in the you created one variable, right? SC equal new. Okay, in the bracket system.in you given, right? It's taken from where? So what imported java.utl, that system path or what?
No, system dot dot in and system dot out are two. System is a class, that is a super class, that is built-in class. Okay, and that is what do we say, whenever we have to use for the input method, then we have to use system dot in, and whenever you have to use the output method, then we have to use for the system dot out. So this is a built-in package that is available for all the classes.
Okay, and you showed, right, 129, value of 129. So enter number. You entered or how it's coming? It's coming from that utl dot star.
No, I have entered this number. So
Where
yes. So simply, I'll tell you one more thing. Rather than doing this, I'll make something. So what do you say? No, square of what is this? Yes. Okay. Is okay. Now you understand this. So this whatever number we are going to enter here, so it is going to return the square of it. Okay. Now let's see.
Ravi, you are entering in below here.
Yeah, here. So I'll tell you about that also.
Okay, you are entering here. Okay.
Can you see? Square of 4 is 16. So this is nothing but, Raghu, this is output window. Okay. So just consider it as a, just a calculator. I'll open one calculator.
Okay, you are entering here. I thought the data is coming from that system. Okay.
No, this is called as user input, Raghu. So this is the same way. Now here this is a calculator. Okay, like it. So when I'm entering 8 is reflecting here. Can you see this? So in the same manner, so this is a GUI. Okay, this is a user interface that we have created, but here we haven't created any interface. So this is simple. Okay, this is what a command line interpreter, not command line interpreter. This is a we are entering the value in the command line. What do we call command line interpreter? Yes, CLI. So we are just whenever we create, this is the output window. Generally the output will display here, but if you create some kind of GUI, user interface, then it will look like a application. This kind of look comes up. Okay, but we are not at all creating any GUI, so that's the reason that we have to this is the input. Simply say this is here. I'll show you the example with this. Just I enter 4. and I find the square root of it, right? This is the same thing. So the 4 was the first one, enter a number, and square of 4 is 16. This is the that result of it. Clear?
Okay, clear. And coming to this import java.util now. So we have different type of, now we showed one scanner, okay, like that you have different means type of others, like scanner, any other.
Yeah. We have multiple classes in that util package. So for that, just go to the documentation, collection framework documentation or somewhere. So you'll find all the classes which are enclosed in this particular util package. So scanner is just one of the class.
Okay, one of the class for only for integer, or it's going to apply for string also?
So it is applicable for everything. Okay. So I'll show you one more thing. Now, enter a name. Okay. But as we are taking what we are going to take string, then we have to use string. Arey Baba. Okay. Sc dot next. For string we have here which method did we use? Next int method we use, and that next int method belongs to scanner class. So for that we have created the object of scanner, then we are calling that method. In the same manner we have one more method called next, and next method help us to get the input of string type. Okay, now we are going to print that name. What is the name? Name is in name variable. Okay. Enter name.
Okay.
You see, name is Raghu, square of 5 is 25.
Okay.
Okay. So two things are here. First thing, there are multiple methods: next int, next float, next char, everything. We have multiple method under the scanner class. Okay, belongs to scanner class, and whenever you are calling that method, you have to use respective data type, respective variable for that. So you can't assign, for example, if I give next here, so see, it is throwing an error.
Yeah, integer don't have float or double, whatever it is, we need to give, right?
Absolutely. And it is saying that required type is int and you have provided the string.
Okay.
Okay, so what is happening here? It is fetching the, what is happening? It is this particular line is fetching the value of string, not int. So that's the reason that it is throwing an error. And if you make it int, then the error will disappear.
Okay.
In the same manner here also. So make it a, okay, int, but okay, can you see this? String name equal to sc dot next int, and what is he saying? Required string but provided int.
Integer. Okay. Thanks, Rick.
Yep, this is one kind of packages, guys, built-in packages. Now we are going to see the second kind of package, that is user defined package. What are the user defined package? The package that we create, the package which we create. So we already use that package. Here we have one package called, on the very top first line, ravi.1. that is a package. So here in this ravi.1 we have two classes, that is const demo and main. Two packages two classes are here. I'll try to make changes to it. I'll create one more package, ravi2, or I'll create something else for Java. Okay, now let's see what happened to it.
Here manually you can't change the package name.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to create a package. Yeah,
Okay, I got it, got it.
you can.
But we can do this in Notepad. I mean, I'll show you one more thing. So guys, I'm not aware of this IntelliJ because I write the programs and I run the programs by using the Notepad. So can you see this my pack? Okay, and this my pack has created here. I want to show you practically how does it work. So I'll make it my pack 2 and the class name is my package class dot. So you just observe few things guys here, then you understand this. Now first I have to save it. Java C to Java dot Java. Just observe something here guys. We have my pack 2, JPM CAC, then idea. Then let's see what will happen here. File not found, core Java dot Java. Oh, my bad. This is my bad guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm making changes to it. Okay, core Java no. Let's create a new one.
What was that you given? No, Java C, right? Java C core Java dot Java,
Yes.
or just Java it is. GAVA, that is E or C in your command prompt.
Which one?
In command prompt, you
Java
given
C.
Java
Java
C, right?
C dot. Yeah, Java C dot class name.
Can you zoom it? I mean,
Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, okay, fine then. Okay, package demo, right? Package demo 1. Okay, this is done now. This is done. Now the class is compiled. Now we have to compile the package. Okay, then how we have to, for that we have to use in such way d dot oh no. Okay, something went wrong.
Package name is core Java, right?
No, but we have to compile the class. We have to compile the class name. So then the package will be created automatically. Yes.
Ravi, you can go to IntelliJ and create a
Oh, done,
package.
done,
I think that okay.
done. So yeah, I can do that, but here the people will understand this. We clearly can see this. That's the reason just I came here. Java is d dot package Java. Can you see this, guys? Core Java. It came here.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to run this particular package demo dot program. Package demo dot one. What happened to it now? Okay, I think there might be some issue, right? I think I need to, I'll definitely get back to you on this. But can you see this? Can you observe this? Now, one more folder created here, and the class resides in this particular class, in this particular folder. So this is called as a packages, guys. So whenever we create a package, so what will happen? It will create a folder, and all the related class will be placed in that particular folder, guys. Okay. Any doubt on this?
So
And
same
where
thing we
can we?
can see in the IntelliJ, right?
Yeah, we can do this. So the only intention
No, my question is
come.
what you showed now here, a package is created, right? Separately.
Yeah.
Same like when you are creating a package in the IntelliJ, so we can't see that package is created or not in the
Yeah.
sequence.
Yes,
Yeah,
Raghu.
we
We
can
can
see.
see like
We can see that.
same thing.
See, this is the package core Java we have created there, and we can see here itself again. See that class. And this is the class which we have written the program core package demo there. Okay, clear, guys? Any doubts on it?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Good. Okay. Anything do you want to add, Makan?
Yeah. So Raghu, what happened? So when you create any project in IntelliJ or Eclipse, so what happened? So after creating a project, folder, class, everything will be placed somewhere your drives, right? So
Right.
if you go to that particular drive, you can see the structure with all the structure. The way you created, it will be same exactly. It will be placed there because you are accessing this data from somewhere from your drive, right? It is not within the IntelliJ or Eclipse. So you are just using, you are storing your all these package class in that particular drive, and we are just here we are getting some looks, fields and looks, but actually we are creating all the class package, whatever you are creating, it will be placed in your that particular drive. So you can even check with that particular drive where you have saved this program, so you can check
Yeah.
from there itself. Same thing.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So I think packages are done. Now we are going to see the access modifier or access specifier, guys. So till now we have seen and on the very first class when I have written this program hello world, then on that day I told you this, definitely I'm going to explain each and every. So just for this time being, use mug up these two lines. Later I'm going to see what are those. So this time has arisen now. So what is a public? Okay, we know the class is nothing but class is a keyword that used to define the class name. So this class, whenever you when you are writing a class, then you have to use with the class. So class, then the class name. Then what is this public? Okay, then we have method public, static, void, main. Main is a method name, but what is void, what is static, what is public? So we are going to see that, guys. So these are called as access specifiers or access modifiers, guys. And what does it mean and how does matter? So first thing, public. Now we have seen the packages concept, and we are going to see the inheritance concepts also in this today itself. So this public is what, whenever you are declaring this class as a public, it means that this class can be used in anywhere. You just have to create the object of this class and you can use this class. So whenever you write as a public, this class will be available for the public guys. Just now we have seen one scanner class. The scanner class was a public class. So that's the reason that we could, okay, then how did we happen? This import dot java dot util dot scanner. Okay, the scanner class was public. That's the reason that we could create the object of that class in our class. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. In so this scanner was a public class. That's the reason that we access that class into our class. So that is nothing but the public. Public specify or public give the authority, or public says that whenever you mention any class as a public, that will be accessible at anywhere. Okay, then next we have something called private. Okay, private int a. Okay, not we'll use within the method, then we'll understand this. So will we use one more method? Okay, any method, public void assistant public void display, and inside this method we are defining one variable as a private. Okay, a equal to 1. Oh, okay. Public int a equal to, yep. So inside the inside method we can't use private. That's the reason this is throwing an error. So this, but I'll tell you what is this private. So modifier private will not be allowed anywhere inside the method. So private will be used just within the class. So class variable can be private, but method variable cannot be private. So that's the reason this is throwing an error. But if I use this private, if I use this private a in this particular class, so even if you create the object of this class, which class, inheritance demo, you can't access this particular variable called int a. Okay, I'll show you the demo. So class v1, here we are using this okay, and we are going to create the object of it. v1 v equal to new v1 what happened to it? Okay, fine. Standard out done, and we are trying to print the value of this a. Let's see what will be the error. You see? No, my bad. Yeah, why is it going here again? Makhan, what is happening? I'm not aware of it. This is going to
Just close it, that one, the first program, if you are not accessing anything from that.
okay, sure.
Yeah, now try to run.
Still, no, still it is
Run.
opening that. Okay. Yeah, ma'am, I'm running from here. No, I think I have closed that package.
Or you can that syntax, you can make the changes now. That's like int sc, whatever is there, put it accurate.
Okay. And accidentally have closed this inheritance demo. Where can I find that?
No, you have to just open that one. Yeah, just open that inheritance demo one. I
Where
think
is
it
it
was
at?
there. Go a little bit
Okay.
down. Yeah, this is after H. Hello world. Just maximize this one. Expand that class. Yeah, this is inheritance demo one.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, can you see here? This is throwing an error stating that A as a private access within a V1. So we can't access this A outside the class, but within the class you can use this. Now see this. A. Now within the class you can use this, but outside the class you can't. Okay, you can't access this. So when I hover over on this A, then it is showing that A has a private access in V1, so we can't access that outside. So how to access this in this case? So rather than just accessing variable directly, we can access the variable from here. Sure. So I'll just call that method. So, what is happening guys? Show. Oh, okay. Got it. Yes. Makan, can you help me with this? Because this is not at all taking.
Yeah, you just close it. Uh, just close that polymorph one. No, that class you open na that. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you run right now?
No, it's not happening. I think some kind of issue.
Oh, it's referring an email. Within the program, can you just right click Yeah, just right. Can
Yeah,
see the option.
I'm running from here. Okay.
Okay, just run. Not sure what happened actually.
Mm. Yeah, now it's happening here. So I'll clear everything. So see this guys, the value here is printing here. 27, I made it. Oh, sorry, my bad. Can you see this? Now, private, this was a private, A was a private, variable A was a private, so which we couldn't access outside the class. This V1 is a class and show is a method of it. And outside the class, what is a different class? Inheritance demo was a different class. And in that class, within this main method, we have called that particular method. We just try to call that particular variable first, but it thrown an error. But when we try to try one more time, v dot a. Okay, we'll see what will be the error here. See error. A has a private access in v1 and you can't access that. And when we try to access the same within the method, within that particular class, in the show method, we have printed that and it was working. Yes, it's working. So this private, public are the access specifier which specify the access. So where we can access that particular, wherever we use this public and private, so it defines that when we define the public, then that will be accessible anywhere, and when we define the private, then it means that we can access that particular class or that particular method or that particular variable into that particular class. So that's the reason that classes cannot be private. So classes should always be public or default, but when it comes to methods and when it comes to variable, those can be private. Clear till now? Any doubts?
Yeah, so I have question like, can we use two class and like now you have used two class, right? We
Yeah.
haven't used this before, so can we use this way also?
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you one thing. So here, as we will go to the last example. So we were talking about the wedding, right? So at that time we have divide multiple classes over there. When it comes to even the purchasing also, where we had multiple purchases. So for each and every one functionality, we will be creating one class, and to perform that particular functionality or perform that particular activity, we create one method. So like one, this package will be considered as a one wedding. Okay, the package will be considered as a wedding, whereas different classes will be considered as a different functionalities of it, and the methods will be for considered as a each and every activity. Is it clear? And in one particular project there will be only one main method. That main method will be identified the class, but that main method will be in one class, where that class is called as a public class, and each and every other classes, each and every other methods will be called or operated from this main method. So we have to create the object. For example, consider this as from this point to this point. Okay, this is one block, one class, and one particular functionality. For example, purchasing was here, and we are going to create object of this purchasing in the public static void main method, and we are going to call the whatever the methods in that particular class, okay, from the main method. Clear?
Yes.
So guys, basically I will give one small example. So consider class as a person. Okay, every class consider a person is accessing some document. So just a simple thing, if you have any private document, right? So that if you are saying it's a private class, that means you can only able to access within the class. Okay, even that document or that information cannot even access within the package by other classes. Means in a single program you can have 10 number of classes. Okay, irrespective you can create 10 number of classes, but only private can, if you say it's a private class, that means that class can be only accessible by that particular class, not even our other class. Okay, within the same package, forgot about the other packages on, within the same package itself they cannot able to access that uh, private. So this is a private. Public means anybody from any package anywhere they can able to access, even other package also. Okay, so any package. So in this IntelliJ you can have a different set of packages, right? So from any packages, any classes, they can access this information. But when you say private, only with the same class, not even other classes. That's it.
Yes. Now next, now here itself we'll go one by one and we'll find it out. Now next is static. So what is the meaning of static? Mark can already explain it, but still I'm going to explain this. So static is what? Whenever we write static, there are two kinds of variable, guys. One is static variable, one is the instance variable. So what is the meaning of static meaning? So whenever you find a static keyword, then that particular variable does not need any kind of object to be created. So there is a difference between this S and A. S is a private variable and it is an instance variable. It's a class. So to access this A, if it is not a private, we'll make it default. Okay, we'll make it as a public. Okay, so in order to access this, okay, which one? In order to access the A, then you need to create the object. You need to create the object from here. Okay, but if you want to access this string S, then you no need to create even object. I'll show you this. So you just need a class name, that's it. v1 dot s. Can you see that?
Yeah. So guys,
Static.
that is the sorry.
No, go ahead.
So guys, that is the reason always you will see in when we see the main method, we have a static keyword, so that to get anything, so that static is, we do not need to create any object for that. That is static.
Right. So execution must be started from one place, right? So we have seen this, whenever there is a class, then each and every class object should be created to access whatever inside of it. Okay. So but how can we create a class for the initial first, whichever very first point? We can't create the class for it. We can't create the object of it. So that's the reason this main method is always static. So the JVM automatically calls this method. That's the reason it has a static. Clear guys? Access specifies. Then we have done public, static, then we have completed private also. Now we are going to see what is the default. So default is something when you don't specify with any particular access specify. Okay. So whenever you don't specify anything, for example here, for inside the method we'll use this something int b equal to 6. So this is a default method guys, sorry, this is a default variable. So you are not at all specifying it with anything. So that's the reason this is called as a default. Okay, and default can also be accessible outside the class. So default will be used within this particular package guys. So we have created one package earlier. So within this package we can use this default, and public can be used anywhere, whereas the private will be used within that particular class. Then we have one more called protected, but protector we are going to see in the inheritance because it will be useful there. So meanwhile, so till now, is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So we have few more things called final, abstract. Then these are also called as a public access specifiers, but we are going to cover final as well as abstract whenever we are going to that particular topic. So we are going to cover abstract in abstraction, final in also in abstraction guys.
Yeah, Rabi, before you move to next segment, so I just want to ask, in general, one question. So, so the question is, can we have more than one main method within the same program? So this is for others, not for Ravi. How many
No.
main, like we can't, right?
There
No.
can be only one main.
Why?
See, when we start Java program now, Ravi, so it will start from the main method. Means to look for main method, right? If we keep two mains, it's difficult for Java to which one is need to look. So that's the reason we're keeping one main method as a single.
Absolutely right, Raghu. So there should be only one starting point. There cannot be multiple starting points, right? So that's the reason this will be having only one main method. Makan, are you speaking something?
Thanks. No. Thanks.
No, you proceed. You proceed.
No, it's okay. I'm done.
Okay. So next we are going to see is inheritance, guys. So I think one class I have already opened here. So my IntelliJ has some problem, but I want to show you from here, guys. Here we have one. Not this one. Inheritance. Where is that? Okay. So Makan, I think meanwhile I'll talk about this inheritance. I need your help on something.
Yes. Sure.
Just tell me that how to, I want to complete a new project. So I think in this project I have a lot of issues.
Go to file. Yeah, new. Click on Java, not Maven.
Okay.
Yeah. Next.
Template.
Yes, yeah, create templates only. Check.
Okay. Have checked that box.
Next. Yeah, next.
So project, I'm going to give a new project. So
Give any
Java.
name, package name.
Okay. Project name, what shall I give?
Yeah, give anything. Fine, anything.
Okay, Java sessions. Shall I complete this?
Finish, yes.
Okay,
New
so
window.
we'll start. Right. So we'll start as a fresh one. Okay guys, so here we are going to see the inheritance guys. So what is the meaning of inheritance? So inheritance is something that this is a concept of groups which gives that one class can be inherited into the another class. So how does it work? It works in the same human beings, like we have a father, then we have parents, and we are inheriting the values of them in us. Okay, and not only inheriting the values, their values, we are inheriting their wealth also. So same like, so here we will be having two classes. One is called as, simply I'm writing this, one is called as super class, which is also called as a parent class, and second is going to be the subclass. So what is happening, what are we going to do is, we are going to define one class, and we are going to inherit all the details, all the methods, all the what do you say, variables of it into the another class, that is subclass. So when we inherit one class into another class, that for example when we inherit super class into subclass, then we can access all the things of this superclass. So generally, by this time you might have already observed that whenever we talk about anything, when we talk about a class, the class has only two things guys. One is variable, second is methods. There is nothing else in that. So whenever we are inheriting any class, so we are inheriting the methods and the variables of it. Okay, and whenever we see this initializing the objects means we are initializing, for example we are initializing the object of a particular class called main. So what are we doing here, we are initializing the variables of it. So methods cannot be initialized, right? So that's the reason we are initializing the variables of it. So each and every class will be having only two things, one is variable, second is methods. Okay, now so whenever we inherit something, so what are we going to inherit guys?
Variables and methods.
Yes, very good. So we are going to inherit two things, what is variable, second is methods guys. Now let's jump into this. So I'm creating a class called okay, in that class we have two things. One is this one second. Public void system dot out dot println. Okay, then we have one variable, we'll define one variable also, and then what are we going to do, we are going to inherit the class now. So how to inherit the class? So to, then we going to class model, sorry, extends. So extend is a keyword guys which used to inherit the class. So whenever you find this word extend, it means that we are going to inherit the class car into model. So it means that whatever the variables and the methods of car will be available to the model. Now see here. So we are going to create here public, my bad, this should be, this car should be capital guys always, and even this model should also be capital. Okay, public void and so here we are going to create the object of the second class, that is subclass model. Model m equal to new model. Okay, and we are going to call this method called m dot on. On, you can see this. So we'll try to call another method, m dot honk. Can you see that guys? So we have not created the object of car class, but still we can access the method of the car, that is honk, by using the object of the model, so which is a subclass of car class. And the same manner we can access the method of what is a variable of it also. What was the variable name? Yeah. Can you see that guys? Guys, is it clear? I'm ready to get you, I mean, I'm ready to take your questions guys, shoot if you have any. No questions guys?
Sorry guys, I was talking on mute. Can you hear me, Ravi?
Yeah.
So I have a question. So, so is there any concept about the base class, derived class here, child class, parent class? Is there any concept with this inheritance?
Yeah, this is that guys. So yeah, you are right, derived class and base class, rather than I use it as super class and subclass. So this
Okay.
car, this okay, no, this car class is called as a base class, and the model class is called as a derived class, because we are deriving the properties of the car class. So that's the reason the model class will be called as a derived class.
Thank you.
Guys, shall we proceed if you don't have any doubt?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next is, now we have seen this. So then we come to the concept. We come to in a few days ago, Raghu asked a question that can the first, when we are creating an object, the first model and this will be same or it can be different. So Raghu, it can be different, Raghu. So, and we today we are going to see one more concept called method overriding also. So what is this method overriding? So we have already seen this method overloading, which is a part, okay. So overloading what? Do you remember guys, what was the method overloading? Polymorphism?
Same method name but different parameters.
What does it mean?
A method with the same name but different parameter list for method overloading.
Yeah, so but how does it work? I'm talking about. So how does so we are going to create multiple methods and the names of the method will be same, but we are going to perform different actions based on the parameters.
Yes.
That is method overloading. Okay, then what is method overriding guys? So method overriding also similar concept because it is also polymorphism. We can create here, we have honk here. Okay, so if we create uh, one more method called public void then here string a is out print a. Okay, then we are going to call that method again by okay n dot honk first time, and we are going to close here. Okay guys, so can we see here we have honk method both the places, but the parameters are different. So this is a so based on what this JVM is differentiating these two methods based on the parameter guys. So this is called as method overloading. Then what is method overriding? So if you do the same thing with the two different classes, for example, when we have a honk method here in the super class or the base class, and when you create with the same name, when you create the same method in the subclass also, okay, that is called as method overriding guys. Public void honk. Okay, now let's see. Okay, can you see this guys now? So in the first method, in the first superclass honk method, we have honking. This is, and in the honk method of the subclass, we have subclass honk. But here we can see, even though having the same method in the honk methods same in the superclass and the subclass, and we have the subclass method was called. Can you see that, guys? So this is called as overriding, and this overriding concept will be very useful when we are when we go into the Selenium and when we have to provide the body of it, when we have to override the methods. So what is happening here? So when we create the object, we create the object for the derived class that is called as model, and when we call the honk method, so rather than calling the honk method of the parent class, it is calling the honk method of the subclass. So what is happening here? The parent class method is overridden by the child class honk method. That's it, guys. This is called as method overriding. Any doubts on it? Okay, guys, I think that's it from my side now. If you have any doubt, the forum is open for you guys.